Well, I missed you all. As you know, when I left the club, because I went to work in Seattle, and it was just in North Queen Anne, Seattle. It was just impossible for me to try and be a part of the club and commit. That I needed a way to commit. So I did join Rotary up there for a while, and then I came back home because I wanted to come back home to my home, to Tacoma. And had planned to just take a little time off and then look for a job. And I was in talking with Steve one day because he was gracious enough to donate an item for Zubilee, and I was on the Zoo Society board. And we actually talked at that time about me coming back to the club. And then literally a month later, I found out I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I had kind of a year-long with surgeries and reconstructive surgeries and that type of thing. So I was kind of out of commission for a while. And just after my second surgery, I had gone to the Palmer Scholars Stand Up and Cheer Luncheon. It was their second luncheon. And that day they announced that that was the last day of their executive directors. She was leaving to take another position. And at the end of that luncheon, I turned to Ken and I said, I want to be the next executive director because I felt like I could make a difference. And I so appreciate, and being a part of this club, the commitment to the community that you've made, and especially to education. And I was involved with Stuart when it first started, and the commitment that you've made, and to Lincoln. And now as the executive director of Palmer Scholars, I really appreciate what you've done. So thank you very much, because we are all making a difference for students in our community that otherwise might not have the opportunities that they do. And I know that many of you in this room have been involved with as mentors or donors of Palmer Scholars over the years, so I want to thank you. So I started as executive director in September, so just been on board 5 months, but came on board with my roller skates on, and I'm really glad that I'm here. And a little bit about the history of Palmer Scholars is it was started 31 years ago by Merle Palmer. And he was had attended an Eastside church, and he was teaching Sunday school. And there were a couple of students there, African American students, that they were very bright. And so he asked them where they were going to college. And they said, well, we can't afford to go to college. And Merle commented, but you're so bright, you should be going to college. And so we don't have the money. He went home, talked to his wife, and they personally paid for those 2 students all through college, and they graduated. So that's how it started with Merle. And I actually met Merle when I was executive director of Tacoma No. 8 Rotary. He came into the office one day, sat down on my desk, put his fist down and said, let me tell you why I want you to make sure that No. 8 funds this grant. And No. 8 did fund it, but he was a very strong personality. He was very passionate, and he wanted to make a difference for these students. And so now we're at 31 years, and we currently have 80 scholars in the program, and we fund up to $5,000 per year for the student. But it's not just about scholarships for Palmer Scholars, and Merle started this. He was a mentor to these students because they didn't always have the support at home, and home didn't always understand their desire, the students' desire to go to college and to change the course of their life. And so each of our 80 scholars are provided with a mentor, a one-on-one mentor that stays with them throughout the 4 or 5 years of college. Then we do pre-college readiness training. So once they're selected, then we have various trainings, and we talk about budgeting and what it's like to be a minority on a Caucasian campus. We talk about what it's like to have a roommate when they go into the dorms, and just the differences between high school and college, and goal setting, and just all types of things to try and give them an edge before they go. And right now, we just are in the process of interviewing for our 2014-2015 class. It's going to take place next week. We had 133 applications, and we have selected 35 to interview, and we will select about 20 of those students. And while 20 doesn't sound like a lot, when you average $5,000 per student, so that's $100,000, and then you have 4 to 5 years of students, then it adds up to a little more than, up to $500,000 a year. So the numbers don't sound big, but it's a financial, pretty good sized financial impact for our small organization. So of our 133 applications this year, 38 were males, 95 females. 38 were from Lincoln, 13 males, and 25 females. So 29% of our student applications were from Lincoln. And of the 35 that we're going to interview, 13 are from Lincoln, 8 females and 5 males. So the breakdown of the 35 we're going to interview, 4 are African American, 5 are Hispanic, 1 is Native American, and 4 Asian. And the females, 10 African American, 8 Hispanic Latino, 2 Pacific Islanders, and 1 Asian. And so we currently do not fund Caucasian students. We fund minority students that are low income from Pierce County that have the desire to go to college but can't afford to. And part of what we do also is help them with the financial aid process, because Palmer Scholars' goal for these students is that each year they have no more than $5,000 in debt in student loans, so that by the time they graduate, they don't have a mortgage payment with no house. And that's how we kind of relate it to them. And so we help them with that so that they graduate with under $25,000 of debt. So I have a little video that I want to show you, and then I will talk a little bit more about the proposal and how Sunrise Mission mirrors with Sunrise and Palmer Scholars Mission together. Now this is last year's video. The program director that was there has moved on to the University of Washington, and we're still working together, which is great. There will be a new video at our Stand Up and Cheer Luncheon, which Sunrise has a table, which is on April 25th, so I want to invite you. But as you watch this video, something I think that sets Palmer Scholars apart is not just the dollars for scholarship. It's important because we can't do what we do without the scholarship dollars. But it's the mentoring and the training. And a perfect example is a student that's, not a student, a former Palmer Scholars that's now joined our board. She graduated with a master's in social work. Her name is Sonia. She was undocumented Hispanic, young woman. Her parents did not graduate from high school and did not speak English. They did not understand her desire to go to college and to change the path of her life. And we selected her, but the difference that it made for her was her mentor. And she was very bright. She attained other scholarships, and she said the Palmer Scholars scholarship was the most important, not because of the dollars, because it was actually the lowest amount, but because of the mentor. Because when I wanted to quit, when I had barriers at school, I didn't get along with my roommate, I felt alienated, my mentor was there to support me. and Palmer Scholars was my rock. So that's what we're all about. And when you see the new video that comes out for the new one for Stand Up and Cheer, it's about another one of our young ladies where she actually lived under the bleachers at Mount Tacoma High School, and this custodian let her in the mornings to shower. And it's about her story where she is now. She's actually a freshman at the University of Washington. So I look forward to the new video to be able to share with you, and it will be shared at the Stand Up and Cheer Luncheon. So this is last year's. It just talks a little bit about Palmer Scholars.
Education is the big game changer. You can take anybody in our community, any student who has the desire to learn, and if they have the opportunity to go to college, they have the tools to become successful.
I have a lot of drive, and I know what I want to do, because like I said, early on, like probably middle school, I knew what I wanted to do with my life. I was pretty sure about that, and I think that says a lot about like me as a person. Like I don't really have time to fail. Like I need to be successful, not for me, but for my mom, my sister.
We've got about 72 students right now. So they're all at different levels of college. We've got freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and some that are fifth-year seniors. You know, it took them a little bit longer to get through, but they're all doing great.
Every year we receive well over 100 applications, and yet this year we granted scholarships to 17 students, and then we've got 5 on the wait list. That's a big gap. And one of our goals that we set out a couple of years ago in that retreat was we want to grow this to 50 students a year, and even that is only less than half of our applicants.
Becoming a Palmer Scholar is a lot harder than it looks. It was nerve-wracking, to be honest, because after the interview, you never know how the interview goes, like you did well or not, and then after the interview that night, you called me, she's like, you got the scholarship, and the first thing I remember was I ended the call to make sure she wasn't on the phone. When I yelled, I was like, Mom, I got the scholarship. She's like, oh, I'm so proud of you, baby.
The importance of mentoring is really what makes our program different.
I want to become a lawyer. I don't know what type of lawyer, but I know I want to be a successful lawyer, and so that's why I got Dwayne to talk to me about some of the possible opportunities, like different types of lawyers. I know there's a lot of different types of lawyers.
We try to match students with people who are already in the field that they want to go into. And really, it's important to just have them with a loving adult in their life who has been to college, who is in the professional world, and can help guide them and lead them while they're in college. And even after they graduate school, they have a network already through that mentor shadow or to do an internship?
If we were just giving students money to go to college, the average graduation rate after 5 or 6 years of students who enter college is somewhere about 60%, and yet 90% of our students graduate.
Currently, I go to Fulton University. I never told Dwayne this, but it'd be cool to maybe intern with him or like work side by side with him, you know, as mentor and mentee. But you never know. That'd be awesome.
You know, it's a really exciting time to be involved in Palmer's. Merle Palmer started this organization 30 years ago, so it's our 30th anniversary, and it's you know, I'm just really excited to see where it will go in the next 30 years. Double, triple in size. That would be a wonderful thing. So, happy 30th anniversary, Palmer.
Congrats on 30 years of success. I hope the Palmer Scholars continue to thrive in both college and after their careers, and I look forward to being a part of Palmer Scholars present and future.
I got this. Okay, I'm ready. Congratulations, Palmer Scholars, on the successful 30 years. Okay.
So on your table is, I just put one, but and it's folded up, but it's a photo of our 2013 class. And it really represents Palmer and what we're all about. So take a look at those kids. They're students, I should say. You know, the older I get, everybody's kids. So about the proposal that we have with Sunrise. Our missions so mirror one another with what Sunrise was trying to accomplish by giving students from Lincoln that have challenges the opportunity to go to college and fund them for 2 years and to mentor them. And it's not an easy process. Just for what we do, the administrative work is overwhelming. Of course, with 80 students, it really is overwhelming. But we do more. The students have to turn in their grades every quarter semester. They have to verify that they're a full-time student and send us any information if their financial status changes. And so and then we do mentor training, and we talk with the mentors to make sure that they're corresponding with their students, and to try and help the students if they're having struggles along the way, to ensure that they have a positive college experience and that they graduate. Also new this year, we're working to bring internships in for our students for the summertime, so that it also gives them an opportunity to have experience in the workforce and hopefully some paid internships so that it can help with some funds for college for the next semester. So with Sunrise, what we're proposing is that we would take over all the administrative duties for your Lincoln students. And they would not be limited, the students that would be selected would not be limited to minorities. And the way we would do that is it would be the students that would be selected by Sunrise Rotary they would know that they are Sunrise Rotary Challenge students. So the dollars would be in a different pool, the students would be in a different pool, but they would be a Palmer Scholar. They would get all the benefits of the mentoring and the training and that type of thing, but we would keep them, they would be under the Palmer umbrella, but listed separately. And they would go through the same interview process, the same selection process. Nothing would change. What would change would be talking with the counselors at Lincoln to make sure that they understand the difference with the Sunrise Challenge and Palmer Scholars, because you're mixing two different entities, basically. And but I think it could work very well. And one of the criteria for Sunrise has been students with challenges. I would say that 99% of the students that we select all have challenges. And the one that you'll hear about next month with living under the bleachers and not having a home and Palmer Scholars becoming her family, those are challenges. And that is why we have maintained over the years to keep the minority status. And the challenges do play a big part in the selection process for us, because if they don't have the supported home, and home life doesn't understand their desire to go, that's where we feel we can make the difference. If the students have, a great supportive home, they're getting all these scholarships, even though they're 4 point, they come down in the process because we feel that it's the other students that really need the help. And I know it's been difficult for Sunrise with keeping track and doing the mentoring and ensuring that they are going on to the second year and that type of thing. And that's where we can help. The difference is that with this proposal is that they could be a 2-year or a 4-year. So they could just be getting their associate's degree or their BA degree. So that's the difference, where when they become a Palmer Scholars, they are funded for all 4 or 5 years of college. So that would be different. But we have a lot of students that go to TCC and Pierce. We're just now talking to Bates and looking at a scholarship opportunity there, because we feel we need to offer all types of post-high school education to students, because not every student is meant to go to a 4-year college, or that's what's going to work for them. So we want to make sure we give our students the opportunity to succeed, and to the institution that works best for them. So with this, we would do all the administration for the students. And the opportunities for Sunrise in this is for a Sunrise member to join the selection committee, which means you read all the applications. Well, not all of them. We divvy them out, because 133, if each person read 133, it'd be overwhelming. And then part of the selection committee, part of the interview process. We would like a Sunrise member to join the board of directors, so you're involved and you know what's happening with your students. And then all members of the Rotary Club and your family or friends are invited to participate as mentors, because that is, as I mentioned earlier, such an important part of our program. Now, as Sunrises end, you will continue to raise funds for the scholarship each year. And right now we have an incredible opportunity. An anonymous donor came to us and said, if you raise $150,000, we will match it. And we have until June 30th to make that match. We're currently at $120,000. This anonymous donor, I've been meeting with them every month. They're so pleased about what we're doing and the differences we're making in the community, that if we make our goal by June 30th, she's adding an extra $25,000. And also, if we make our goal by June 30th, every year as a gift, they will add $100,000 to the endowment annually. So she is ingrained in our program and involved in the interview process and has read the applications. And so this is an incredible opportunity for us. And so we would like Sunrise, obviously, to contribute to that endowment if possible, because the dollars will be doubled. The endowment is held by the Greater Tacoma Community Foundation. We don't manage it. So we will look at 4 to 5% per year coming off the top. Right now there's $260,000 in the endowment. And so this, with meeting our goal and the matching, would put us at over $600,000 as of June 30th, which is pretty exciting. So your students would change from a 2-year scholarship to a 4, if that's what they desire to do. So the Sunrise would represent all ethnic groups, not limited to students of color. They would be from Lincoln only. And the staff will work with Lincoln to ensure that the students nominated meet the criteria for the scholarship. We'll ensure that the applications are high quality and complete. And one of our board of directors has been working with Sunrise, Steve Shane, for several years and helping select the students for you, and he's done a great job. And he just loves, of course, he always is pulling for Lincoln students. And as you can see by the percentages, Lincoln really works hard to get students to apply for our scholarship. And then we'd like you to participate in our spring seminar. There's a lot of talent in this room to share with students, and what it's like to go to college, or just other facts of life. And Sunrise Rotary students would be governed under the Palmer guidelines, and the recipients what would change probably is what you've been doing per year is 6 or 7 students would probably go down to 3, because they would be funded for multiple years and at a higher rate. You know, it's up to $5,000 per year. So that is the proposal in front of you, and I think that with our missions, we mirror one another, and I think it could be a great partnership. So I'd like to open it up to questions.